Hi guys, and welcome to Jurassic Collectibles. It's been a long time since I've reviewed some of the Jurassic Park comic book material, but I'm back now, and this is long overdue. It was published this year, and I'll just show you the initial cover. Here it is, and it's Jurassic Park Dangerous Games. It's written by the Bear brothers, Greg and Eric Bear, and the artwork is by a guy called George Jimenez. Don't know if I pronounced that right, but his artwork is very nice. Okay, so this was a 5-parter, and they did alternative covers like they did for Jurassic Park Redemption and Jurassic Park Devils in the Desert. If you haven't seen my reviews of those already, they're on my channel if you want to have a little look. But Dangerous Games is the latest contribution to the Jurassic Park comic book world, and it's quite different actually compared to the comics that have come in the past, and I'll explain more about that in a minute. So this is the first cover for issue 1, a very striking cover. I like the colour. And then there's a variant. This is cover B for issue 1, and you can see it's got a dinosaur being attacked by lots of other feathered, I'm assuming they're raptors, so feathered raptors. Now the thing is, there is a cover C, but it's a signed copy, and as far as I know, it's very hard to get hold of. I've scoured for it, and I can't find a signed copy, so maybe I'll have to make one. Maybe I'll have to go to the creators of the comic and get them to sign it myself, but we'll see, maybe in time. But that's issue 1 anyway. And then, so that's issue 1. And then they did an alternative cover of issue 1, what they call the Virgin variant, which is when it's just the drawing on paper with no coloration. But like I said, there is one more variation, which is the signed cover. This is issue 2. Again, we see the feathered raptors, so it's a bit of a theme running throughout. And then you can see the Virgin variant for issue 2. And this is how it carried. So initially there was 3 issues that you could get hold of. As it went on, it became 2. Similar to the way that they did for Jurassic Park Devils in the Desert. So this is issue 3. And there's the Virgin variant for issue 3. I actually prefer the Virgin variant for a lot of these. I think it's just because the black and white contrast is quite nice. So that's issue 3. This is issue 4. So getting close to the end now. And you can see the Virgin variant there. And then issue 5. You can see the main character here. And he's on a bike. And then again, the Virgin variant. So let's go back to the first cover, and I'll tell you a little bit about the story and what I like about it and what I don't like about it. So, okay, the story focuses on a CIA agent by the name of Daniel Espinosa, and he basically goes to the original island, Isla Nublar of Jurassic Park, to try and infiltrate a gang who have taken over Isla Nublar. Now, the gang basically have taken over the visitors centre, and they run the island, and it's run by like a drug lord by the name of Cazares. And they basically work out that Daniel Espinosa is a CIA agent, and they decide to hunt him down. So they set him loose into the park with all the dinosaurs and hunt him down, basically as a sort of like almost like an honourable killing in a way, an honourable way to kill someone. But yeah, it's quite a good story. The only problem is that if you're aware of Jurassic Park canon, you know that Isla Nublar doesn't have dinosaurs on it anymore because it was destroyed. The dinosaurs were destroyed because of the Lycine contingency, but also because they destroyed the island after the incidents on Jurassic Park, and that's kind of well known. It's even mentioned in a deleted scene in The Lost World, I think. So if you know about Jurassic Park, you know that's kind of impossible. But you go along with it anyway, And the story is quite enjoyable. He meets a female counterpart, and she has basically befriended the dinosaurs. She's been on the island since Jurassic Park opened and was one of the scientists, I believe. And she's befriended a pack of raptors. Now this is where it becomes a bit far-fetched, because you know that wouldn't happen. You know that the raptors would kind of... They would eat her. And I found that a little bit far-fetched. But again, I went along with the story. And actually the whole story was fairly rewarding. I would say I preferred Devils in the Desert. This one gets a little bit far-fetched. But still, it was a good story. And, you know, I enjoyed it for what it's worth. In terms of almost like an extended universe story, I can buy it. It feels a bit more like a fan story. With someone who isn't really very aware of the Jurassic Park world, but still very interesting anyway. Now, one of the key things to note about the artwork, instead of me rambling on, I'm going to show you some pictures, is that it's got a very sort of manga type style. So you can see here in the artwork here, the eyes are very sort of manga style, and everything about it actually is a very sort of manga style. So obviously this artist, Jorge Jimenez, has a very sort of manga type style and discipline, which, you know, is nice. It's actually quite refreshing to see a comic book done in that style. I don't think we've had one in the past done in that style. Maybe in Return to Jurassic Park #9 when it was a mixture of different styles, but it's quite nice to see something different. It's quite refreshing. So there's a good look at the inside of the comic book. The colours look quite muted actually. I didn't really notice, but in this comic book they look quite, how can I say, yeah, just quite muted, quite saturated colours. But I think that's to do with the style, the gritty style of the, you know, of the piece. So yeah, it's really good. Definitely worth picking up. Maybe not buying all the comic books separately, unless you appreciate the cover art. But they have released it now as a trade paperback, but it's not a paperback, it's actually a hardback. Yeah, maybe look at picking up the book as a whole, and then you'll save a few pennies. But yeah, I enjoyed this series, and it's nice to see IDW's latest contribution to the Jurassic Park world. And I think if they carry on like this, Devils in the Desert and Dangerous Games have been good. So, you know, they're slowly correcting the mistakes they made for Redemption. If not feeling a bit like an expanded universe storyline and not a sort of tops Jurassic Park world storyline. Yeah, so it feels a bit more imaginative, and you have to let go of things that you know about the Jurassic Park world a little bit. But if you're okay with that, then these are for you, I think. Okay guys, rate, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.